Hey everybody, welcome back from our Cultist simulator. So we got a couple of things kind of in action right now. We've got a maid in the mirror that we summon that we're trying to keep as long as we can and continue the use of her service. We got some evidence that needs to get toasted, worried about our health. We gotta get the funding kind of back up to snuff here. Lots to do. Chief goals for today. I'd really like to continue trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong to progress in the Mansis, and just period, we need more lore, right? Like we've got a pretty good collection, but a lot of it's so low level, and I've tried to do some various like summoning rites and just haven't had what we needed. So we're gonna keep churning away, and that's gonna start with some expeditions here. So we've got the Foreman house. Philip Foreman, the helminthologist and antiquarian, did all his best work here at the family home until the day his subjects escaped. The infestation was destroyed, but Foreman, they say, walks the halls to this day, guarding his library and his shame. Concerning, to say the least. Hopefully this can get rid of our evidence. All right. Do I wait and take that with me? No, it's going to be a bit. Let's go. I'm going to send a maid in the mirror. So we got Winter. We've got Edge. I'm going to send another Edge to start because it sounded pretty much like maybe he's haunting his abode. Unquestionably, this bleak mansion is haunted. The last visitor saw and fled the dead before they could touch him with their fraying hands. The visitor before that claimed she saw nothing, but she died of despair exactly 1 year later to the day. Kind of wish I had read that before I committed to Edge, because we might have sent more Winter instead. That's kind of a bummer. Meanwhile, I can't translate you. And you, we gotta wait until the talk verb's available. Okay, so we're just gonna start churning here. I have a vitality that's going to be able to develop. It's so hard to pick this up kind of midstream of thought when you had been playing it previous. I've already accounted for the vitality, so we can take a trip to the white door, and work is kind of chilling, doing nothing. So let's also do a sermon. Sure. Do I want to try and upgrade any more lore? This is already like my highest lore, so I don't think that one really needs to be worried about. I could start upgrading some of this moth lore. I think we're okay. I don't need to do everything right as soon as we start, right? You know what I mean? I can ease into it. All right. We want this evidence to go away because I don't want to have to try and chase after spiraling evidence. Plus that frees up our, what is this thing called again? Callagine. Frees up our Callagine for more cult-oriented exploits. So we do have the Fretful Dead. Not all the dead rest easy. The ones like our these ones dislike our intrusion. Oh, so I can use Edge against them. Okay. So 15 Edge, I'm pretty comfortable with that. What's this one? We need Heart or Lantern to suppress the Dry Soul Curse. So let's send Lantern in because we can get some good bang for our buck using our Seers. When talk becomes available, I'm noticing how low the fundage is. I think we're gonna need to get another round of commissions. Gotta rebuild the war chest a little bit. Going through all the explorations in the Shire kind of threw us for a loop. All right, was our creepy thing worth it? It was, my man. My thing? I don't know. I have no idea how to even begin to think about how that identifies. The dead circle the edge of our vision like frayed dreams. The very air around us is chill with winter's shadow. They must recognize that. Why am I using winter instead of Ed? Weird. Okay, well, I'm going to send another winter follower in after the mix then. Talk verb is available, so let's turn in this commission, and then we can collect a couple more commissions. I woke up this morning and like started going through my normal kind of morning routine, and it was within like minutes. I had poured coffee, was just kind of chilling out, and I was like, I need to play Cult Sim. It has crept its way into my brain. Dream is available, so let's cure our affliction. We need to wait on our commission there. So I guess let's do I have anything that I could paint to get another upgraded painting? Can't paint the tools. I don't think we do. Oh no, we could do it with we could do it with heart, and we might as well because we're already swimming in a ton of heart lore. All right, so I want to paint with all my passions. We're gonna paint about something of the eldritch sort. All right, so we got some money from him. Let's go get a batch of new commissions. What do you... This takes a desire. I don't have a desire. Very substantial winter commission. I want these very substantials because now that we're so flush in lore, like I'd rather, if I'm going to spend the time on them, that gives me a restlessness. If I'm going to spend the time on them, I'd rather do it and have something to show for it. All right, so we're going to paint you. How much dread is already in there? Because this restlessness is going to decay to dread as well. I don't love that. The dead draw back, their almost faces flat and watchful. They will not trouble us. Darn tootin'. Oh, all right, a very substantial lantern commission. Let's get the very substantial sweep going. Ooh, I'm gonna lose this Caligine. Standard moth. That's all right. That's all right. We got plenty of money that's gonna show up from the others. Can I... What if I just talk to you about cult business? It's not an associate. Okay, that won't work. So let's use the talk verb to keep upgrading our helpers. Found out last episode that I can upgrade the simple pawns, which I don't know if it's really going to bear much in the way of utility, but it certainly isn't something to ignore. I can upgrade a winter. That might be worth it. HQ with a library I don't have, so we would need an erudition. Silent intensity or an HQ with a pit. Oh, I'd need dread. Interesting. That's the first time I've seen that, where it wants dread. All right, so now we're still up against the curse, which we want lantern to get rid of. What have I finished? Something unique. All right, detective back on the prowl, but that's fine because we do not have the evidence he was looking for. There's 2 dreads and about to be a 3rd. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some opium dreams going. Ooh, and we pulled a contentment from my painting, which is huge. Sister and witch. She has been a pair of funeral birds, but here she is as she would wish to drown. I wonder if they've got the artwork for the paintings somewhere on like their website. We have a pulsing airs we can put to work. This restlessness I'd love to turn into dread to use for that winter lore upgrade. But like, I'm already combating despair. What can I do with pulsing airs? If I add winter, I might summon one of the dead. One of the voiceless dead. Let's summon one. I think I've had this in there and passed on it before. These are the dead who do not descend or ascend, but who remain in the mansis and dream of winter. The power of winter, along with a little of the heart's warmth, will draw them here. What if instead... Oh, I can do it even just using the restlessness. So it takes like no heart. It's basically just like coloring it heart. Let's try it. It has just occurred to me I have no passion to try and reclaim the summon should it go awry. So if it goes sideways, we might just bail on it and just consider it a way to have used up that restlessness. I don't think it'll be too hard for me to get more restlessness. The next time I've got dread on the board, we should try and get rid of it via the upgrade. Might as well make it useful. We call upon the Colonel, who cannot be denied. Not only can he not be denied, he is going maybe a little overboard. 30 lantern in that challenge, please. There's our opium. Well, there's our contentment. I guess we didn't just go out and buy opium. And then you're not ready to go yet. Still searching? You're still searching. Okay. The first time I sit down to play this, seemingly every session, because it's normally a couple days between when I sit down to record any of it, I'm like so jumpy. Like every time a thing changes, I have to like stop everything, pause, read the board, find out what's going on. I'm always so concerned. All right, so we get a glimmering. We got all these glimmerings that I don't need. We do have our passion back. Oh, I didn't have to do anything. It was like ready to rock. A dark shape limned with the winter light. It will not speak, but its eyes are avid, looking. The dead always long for the world eventually. Sometimes the dead enter the mansis by the white door. At its threshold, they lay down their power of speech forever. Call them back to the world and they will have no voice, but their skins of dust are yours to command. So it's a 6 moth, 6 winter. So this is actually pretty helpful for an evidence situation as well. I can offer it passion. It's a deceiver, so it can try and drive us insane. Okay. I mean, look, it's not a bad friend to have. We know we have use for moth lore, or moth aspect. Get more evidence. See, look, we're gonna put it to use right now. I'll actually probably put the Caligine in there. The curse did shrivel, so we're about to find treasure. Beautiful. And then we're gonna have to go get some money from auction house and stuff. We'll sell some Spintria. All right, so this restlessness, if this wipes out the despair in time, that restlessness maybe we'll use on the winter upgrade once it turns to what am I trying to say? Once it turns to dread. All right, 7 seconds left on the Caligine. So we're gonna send it to go destroy some evidence. Love it, love it. Work verbs doing nothing. We could summon again. I don't like, now I don't know how often they all have that thing that indicates that like something bad could happen. So I don't know if I want to just summon willy-nilly for stuff that I don't really have a reason to be using. That seems like playing with forces that are beyond me. In the room that overlooks the grimy glass of the broken conservatory, twisted shapes, yellow pale as maggots, recline on slabs of wood. These are the plaster casts that Foreman made of the poor souls inhabited by the creatures he studied. In some of the figures, the entry holes are visible in the relevant surface. In others, we might assume the creatures entered by ear or mouth or elsewhere. That's truly foul. Do not like. Hunter's already back at it, so hopefully we get a quick return on this evidence. We have an erudition, so that was the other thing we were gonna need for this, right? I mean, so we might as well give it a go. Study is just chilling. That's not what I want. I wanted winter. We'll give that a try. I think this is gonna go away in time. Yes, so this dread will be available for our experimentations. That's wonderful. The timing is delightful. The room is empty, but at last, when we chance to break one of the casts, we find Foreman's library, treasures cached in the figure's yellowing abdomen. Yo, this was a gross expedition. I will do nothing to try and pretend as such. All right. We did get a pretty good clip of resources. First things first, we need money. We're the lowest we've been on funds in a dog's age. We need you to come up big right now, summoned friend. All right, so that's going to ask for my test. Work verb isn't doing anything. Let's do one of these commissions. You want reason? All right, he's still chasing notoriety. So if we wind up with a different evidence, that's fine. I just don't want to have to deal with a damning evidence. Like, I'd rather have a tentative where I have a little bit of time to try and juice it. Although the favor from authority helps lessen that concern. All right, you're gonna be gone in a hot second. So we can use the voiceless dead to get rid of whatever it is he summons up next. And let us get the rest of our normal boys upgraded. Auction is complete. Do it again. Yeah, so that turned into a rising heat. So that's interesting. That when they disappear, we get something that we could just turn around and use to summon something else. You can almost chain them. Puzzle is missing a piece, so we need erudition. That'll move that along. I think I'm gonna let all the summons expire rather than trying to juggle and keep them active. And just study all my Forgotten Chronicles here while we're going through and getting our books and stuff studied anyway, as a way to get enough expeditions. Like, if I have a bunch of expeditions, then if I summon stuff that's useful, you can just chain them expedition to expedition to expedition while their timers are still active. And to me, that seems like a fairly good usage. All right, you are good. You just want a simple moth one, so that'll take me 1 second. And then our winter lore should be done here in a moment. And we can use that for poppies. We still have to get Count Janning's next one too. All right, there's that. I'm actually gonna get Janning's now since those commissions are so quick. And then let me also I'm gonna sell some iron ones just so that, like, I don't know if there's any penalty to stockpiling them, but I might as well get rid of them. Oh no, my dread got pulled. Damn it. So my winter will not be complete in time. Very substantial heart. That's good too. The timing on that despair was despicable. I think that might also turn into dread. So what do I, this is just gonna go unused because I don't have a pit. That sucks. All right, well, if it seems too good to be true, perhaps at times it is too good to be true. He took too long to make the evidence, so sadly our disposal unit is gone. That's fine. We can send our actual team out on it, but it's gonna sit for a bit, so I may try and summon something instead. I know I just said I was gonna let the summons expire, but for good reason, I am nervous when there is evidence on the board. Since we're swimming in cash again, let's try and get this despair nipped quickly so that I can start trying to figure out what we're gonna do about upgrading that lore. All right, commission, and then I have the heart lore for this. And in fact, I think I'm going to sell this silver spin tree as well, because when we turn in these commissions, we're going to get another 3 of them. So it's not like sitting on 1 or 2. I like to keep some of them around just as like a, if I need them as an ingredient in something else, I don't have to chase them. So that did turn into dread. Okay. We have a contentment. We have a contentment. Beautiful. All right, so that just was a bust, sadly. Oh, but it saves my progress. That's interesting. Will you pull the dread first or the contentment first? Maybe we can ice this dread right now. I don't remember which one it pulls first. All right, we have one last friend to upgrade here. We added a silent, I don't remember how many of these I had done. A practical disciple, a silent disciple, a percipient disciple, and an avid disciple. So what's our last friendo gonna be? Beautiful. Raking in the cash. And then I'm gonna just start churning through Forgotten Chronicles. Right? Are they the ones I need? I think they're the ones that I need now for the continent. There's our art. Did I already do moth? I did already do moth. I didn't do winter because I was using it and I'm using it again. That's what I did. Okay. Oh, so it's making me discover what the challenge is again, even though I already know what the challenge is. That's kind of a bummer. All right, it did pull the contentment. So if it pulls both, oh no, this contentment's gonna be gone. More opium. We need, it's medicine, guys. It's medicine. Yeah, so I want continent explorations. So we'll start using some of these Forgotten Chronicles. So now I can throw dread in. And it's gonna eat it before the despair comes around again. So that is wonderful. All right, so lastly, we have added an erratic disciple. So it's interesting. I don't know if this is, again, because it seems like there's a random draw when you do a run of what cultists are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it looks like there's 8 aspects that I have. Excuse me. there's 8 aspects that I have cultists in, but we only got pawns in 7 of them. So I don't know if that's just by design or what. This I think is going to turn into another dread, unfortunately. I need this studying to be done so we can start working on the books we've got. We've done it. Okay. It turned into restlessness. So, okay, let's... I don't want this restlessness on the board because that's going to continue my despair. So what can we pull out of here? I'll need a significant power of forge, significant power of knock, and some lantern. Well, you don't have... I don't think you have what you need, friend. Yeah, I don't... We can't do anything with this summon, it doesn't look like. Bummer. Okay. Detective back on the prowl. I feel like Despair and the Detective are the only 2 I've gotten for a while. Alright, so we have a new expedition site. So everyone's upgraded. What do I do with my talk bird when I don't have anything going on? I can fix this mirror. Yeah, we'll do that. I guess I should start making more use of sending the cultists on cult business. That's something that I've wildly avoided, or widely avoided rather. Much of it just because like I worry about accumulating scars on failed attempts. But these guys they're powered up. I'm taking the game really slow, and I'm aware that I'm taking it really slow. But I guess at some point it is worth maybe taking some chances. Wait, did I still have evidence on the board? Oh my god, I totally forgot about it. That's going to turn into a damning evidence. All right, so we're going to have to do a summon here. More dread. More dread. I didn't know that wouldn't get rid of my dread. We do have our upgraded winter lore finally. So at least we got that going for us. The study verb is available now, so we get some stuff to translate. The world does not weep. Brown Joshua found this in a well in Hamath. There's an unlikely story that this was abandoned by Alexander during his retreat from Issus. And you are in Aramaic. All right, so suddenly our problems have compounded. Despair baits. Okay, so maybe I can just let these dreads disappear. They have 2 edge aspects, so we could potentially use them in a summon. Still just tentative. Okay, so I want that evidence out of here. We're gonna work on that in a second. We got another expedition. I think I'm just gonna literally, I think I'm just gonna go until it tells me that there's no more expeditions in the continent. Needs a bronze spintria for the repair. You got it, buddy. Fleeting restlessness is gonna turn into more dread. My goodness. Bad bad couple of weeks for Father Matheson, it would appear. He's having some existential problems. Because like using the dread in summons, having kind of a reliable way to get rid of some of that, I'm totally down with. I can get rid of one of them here with this fascination. All right, so you have made me a wildering mirror, a multiplicity of vistas, a bewilderment of views. Gaze upon me and rejoice in the dissolution of your senses. So it's a tool. and it's a mirror. It's interesting to me that the mirrors have like their own aspect. All right, talk verbs available. Let's start turning in some commissions, get those done with. I guess like, oh my God, the fucking detective. You're unbelievable, bro. Like, take a break. Go on holiday. If you're so weary, why not just like rest a little bit, bud? The devoured tantra. The diplomat priest Stanislav John Scheller transcribed this from the library of a Red Long, but his manuscript remains in a private collection in Karisham. And it was in Fusi? What was it in? Sanskrit. All right. What do we got going on? You paid me my money. I appreciate you for that. Let's do some more of that. The paying is good. We might have to buy some bribes pretty soon. So, if I offer dread, we need knock, lantern, heart, or winter. So lantern would give me a hint. Wait, did it say lantern, moth, or winter? Heart or winter. The percussigant. The maid in the mirror. Okay, so let's summon the maid in the mirror again. Did she didn't have moth. I don't remember what any of them do. I just want to get rid of the dread, so that's fine. We're using it not for the summon, but for getting rid of an undesirable card. Which, like, that sucks for the maid in the mirror. She's just out there living her best life in the Mansis. And we're like, hey, I have dread I don't want. She might just feast on it though, right? Some of these creatures, like, because the lore is so fragmented, I'd be interested to hear any kind of like an in-depth explanation on just basic slice of life stuff about some of these creatures. Like, what does a percussigant eat? What does the maid in the mirror do on her day off? Okay, so that restocked the old war chest. We're in pretty good shape there. We want to get rid of evidence. I don't know if it's worth starting it now, because I have a feeling he's just going to pull my evidence out of the talk verb. I guess if he does, we don't have to risk a follower as a result, because it'll just make the follower kind of at standby, so that's fine. He's busy with the mystique. I don't know. Maybe this will work. The dream verb. So dreaming for the white door with health is doing nothing for me, and it's the only option I have when we dream with the white door. So that's obviously nothing to do with progressing further in the Mansis. I wonder if it doesn't make sense to me that the wood would yield a way to like leapfrog the white door though. Like, the Mansis is built in tiers and has kind of always been presented as such, so that is confusing for me. The deeds of the scarred captain, painstakingly assembled by the soldier of fortune and sometime remittance man Pavel Shulga during his years in Greece. Hopefully that yields some decent high-level lore, or at least like some low-level lore that we could then upgrade. That would be nice. All right, so we have our maid in the mirror. But it doesn't do me too much good for the evidence. It's good for expeditions, though. All right, still getting new ones. What am I going to do with all of these? I wonder if there's any merit in me changing headquarters. Work verb. Do we summon again? Get another Maid in the Mirror just to out the dread? Do any of these other ones upgrade with dread? No. That looks to be some kind of a more high level thing. So let's do this. That's not what I want. But maybe let's summon the percussagant. If we're gonna summon a couple different things, that makes more sense to me than stockpiling one, just so that we have more aspects at our disposal. If he pulls it while it's in this countdown, I'll be furious. Okay. Okay. All right, come on. Good news. That's bad news. That's not good news. That's injury news. Shoot. I hate that. I think this will let me summon. I'm taking this to do a summon with it to try and get rid of evidence. Because that, I think, will let me get either Voiceless Dead or the Callagine. You are translated on Matthias and the Amethyst Imago transformation. The diagrams and illustrations, even across the centuries, are elegant, hypnotic, occasionally erotic in Aramaic. This is the story. We read the story about this last time. It's about the mortal and the creature from the Mansis that he like wanted to be with her, so she cut off her wings and he made himself a eunuch. Let's dream. I know I just said that dreaming with the white door doesn't really yield much for me right now, but we could get a favor from authority, which I'd appreciate. More dread. That makes sense though. All right. Lots and lots for us to do out here on the continent. I'm gonna run out of Forgotten Chronicles before we actually find them all. I can get those from the way in the white door too, so I guess it's not so bad. More restlessness, Jesus. All right, a rebellious spirit. Hit it with some passions. I thought it was going to be a pretty straightforward, just like run to get some expeditions ready to go. Wait, this guy's getting ready to go? Why are you leaving, bud? I don't know why you're on a timer. All right, so Porter feels better. It's a new scar. So we don't have to worry about him getting iced. I'm almost positive that's going to turn into damning evidence, so I'm not going to send Porter after it. We're going to summon as soon as our work verb's available again. I got to hurry though, because this winter mode is going to dry out. Mastery regained. We'll have our percussagant. All right, so now we can actually study these books. Did it change the description? No. The unknown adept who wrote this proclaims, "The world forgets, but the ivory dove does not." The text contains a number of prescriptions for ensuring that certain acts are remembered, including a rite which requires a sacrifice in a particularly monstrous mode. All right, so this sounds like it's going to give us a ritual. So I don't know if it'll wind up being one we already know or not. A subtle fracture. 6 knock lore. There's a couple things that we've tried to summon and the knock lore hasn't been enough. Percussagant is heart and edge. So again, like decent for expeditions. I think we're going to go on an expedition here since we've got both of them on the board anyway. Now we want to summon. So wait, if I do this, that's a lot of knock, which is normally kind of like the thing we're missing. Edge, winter, or forge. Yeah, so this is the Callaghan. Callaghan. I'm never going to say it right. But then I'm going to have this chilly atmosphere. So wait, let me check this. Is this enough to summon it anyway? It is. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the one that I know is going to turn into a negative card. And then we will send that thing after whatever evidence the detective turns up. Ah, okay, cool. The unnumbered stones wound up being the last one. So we can start our explorations because now we have all of them in the continent. That's beautiful. Chateau Raveline. The favorite stories of the Comte de Raveline claim they descended from the first Sun King. Other stories have them prowling the forest in wolf shape. They are long gone. Their rotting chateau remains. Not all its malignities have been uncovered. All right, so this gives us a shitload of edge and then a decent amount of winter and heart, which isn't necessarily my favorite combo. The winter is nice. The edge is almost always useful. The remote and rotting chateau of the Comte de Raveline was looted long ago. We have found hints that it was not looted thoroughly enough. There may be a secret room. Equally, there may be a curse. Okay, so edge probably isn't going to be handy for this one, but the winter might be. And then if it's a hidden room, we'll just send in the lantern squad once the actual operation begins. And then, all right, talk verb I want to leave open. Let me try. So if we dream with the wood, this lets us enter the wood via passion, which is just how we've always used the wood. That lets me approach the white door, which we don't need to do anymore. Nothing. Nothing. That lets me approach the white door. That lets me approach the white door. I have a feeling none of these are going to say, like, approach the burgundy door. Yeah. Damn. I don't know what that does. Lots of dread on the board, but nothing really worried about it yet. Detective's on his way. All right, so what do we get? Dry Soul Curse, which is heart or lantern, not winter. Right, winter was for the ghosts we fought that time. And then we want lantern or knock. So both of these use lantern, so like GG easy clap, we just send in the lantern squad. The Seers. It's probably disrespectful for me to not call them by their full title. Yeah, okay. You're grabbing the evidence. Kind of expected. I might as well, if this is gonna chill for a minute while he does evidence, we might as well get our next batch of commissions. Slee coming in. There's the bleak thoughts, just as my contentment is drying up. That makes sense. Ah, okay. The hours tried to bury the memory of what happened to the wheel, the flint, the tide, and the 7 coiled, but the dove won't permit it, nor will he permit what happened to the first egg to be forgotten, although it is perhaps the one thing that the watchman might ever forgive. So we got an Invocation of the Ivory Dove, which is funny because it's the winter we just were working so hard to upgrade. And then Rite of the Beast's Division. Excellent. Okay, so it's a new rite. I didn't necessarily expect that. Is this the same set? Erudition. Yes, and Dread. So we can actually upgrade this again and get a level 10 winter. Let's keep our studying up. The Devoured Tantra warns of the uses and dangers of appetite, but devotes an entire passage to the star-limbed Hungerbringers, who it describes with obvious affection. Could that be the Percussagant? No, they're not star-limbed. All right, damning evidence on the board. But we've got the agent to deal with it. Agent Callagine, you're up. I suppose we could take 2 hot seconds to get the other 2 commissions. After all the panic I've talked about having evidence on the board, I may go on to regret such a thing. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, so neither of those bore fruit. What else can we dream about? We can dream about dread. We can dream about our decrepitude. Rest, reconsider your priorities, or risk yourself in exploration of the kingdoms of the deep. My soul haunts my failing flesh like a swamp wisp. My heart slows. One day it will cease. Perhaps if I were to consume some exotic substance, it might restore strength that is lost, but it seems unlikely. I'm going to consume money, or does this mean I'm going to buy something? That's so very strange to me. I don't think that's what I want it to be. I don't want to dream on dread. I don't remember anything about just dreaming with just random items. Like, you do that until you can unlock a trip to the Mansis. Work verbs available. What is our new rite? So our new rite calls for an invocation, an influence. Okay, so this one is maybe the least helpful because it's asking for an influence, but that's not the thing it eats, which seems silly. Ooh, we can sacrifice stuff we've summoned. That's intriguing to me. Summon. That's made in the mirror again. That's the Callagant. Callagine. Voiceless Dead. All right, we might as well diversify. Okay. With you handled, we can now start getting into evidence. I really thought that I was going to be able to just kind of hit the ground running in this like tier, but I feel like I've just spun wheels this whole time waiting to get to a situation where we could advance. Okay, so we found the hidden door. I totally spaced on an entire step of the expedition. I'm bummed that our buddy seems to be leaving. Should never have upgraded you, friend. We've got despair to deal with, but that shouldn't be that hard. A million blazing fires in the belly engulf what has been swallowed by the multiform mouths. A delightful sacrament. So now we have Grail that we can upgrade. The deeds of the scarred captain, painstakingly assembled by the soldier of fortune and sometimes remittance man. An account of the founding of Mycene by a scarred captain who first slew 7 monsters to make the land safe. And then what are you going to need to upgrade? Risk your own health or use a prisoner. And I already have an HQ with Sanctuary, so that we handle easily. Prisoner, not as easily. We can risk our own health, but I don't want to keep bleeding stats dry. Like, one of the things that I really liked about this run was how early I developed like a pretty good stat pool. And I'd hate to just piss it all away here in the mid game, late game, still early game. I have no frame of reference. All right, we got our voiceless dead friends. I wonder if it'll let me sacrifice them to meet the needs of... That would be interesting. All right, well, that got me a contentment. So I suppose I can't be that upset because I need it for the despair. You're just trying to get past the curse. Work verb is empty. Should we do commissions? Why shouldn't we? That would make sense. I never preach anymore. All right, cool. We got the evidence out of there. So that is one less thing we need panic about. I wish I knew what was up with you, that you're just gonna chill like that. Can I talk to you about it? Can't exalt you. Yeah, we're short by plenty. Oh, I can talk to... Oh, weird. If I use the cult and them, it's the same as just talking to them normal, because it's just how you get your commission. A new way. A Spartic prepared the path, but I am the path. I could alter the forms that have been established. Once and only once you may set another kind of lore at the heart of your cult. Begin the process already if you have... Oh, wait. Oh, so I can just straight up change the cult? Oh. Is that worth doing? I already have 3 Lantern Exalteds, and we have a bunch of Lantern equipment, so I don't know if that's worth it. I just talk to the cult. I guess it's like me reviewing cult activity. I don't know, that could be a big deal though. The curse shrivels, okay. I gotta think about that, because it said once only, so it's not like we can go back if we decide we're not liking it. We're gonna need 1 more contentment to do away with the despair season. As the captain destroys each monster, a flood of blood rises higher until at last a priestess drowns and is reborn as a serpent goddess. She blesses the captain, and he departs for the house above the forest, leaving Mycene to reign supreme after the flood of blood subsides. The colonel's names. So now we've got edgelore we can take higher as well. All right, this is paying some dividends. We cast Matthias out, and we pronounced a curse upon the Amethyst Imago, but we watched them in dreams. We saw them pledge themselves to the forge, to change themselves and ascend to new. Into the fire they fly. Oh, right. We can murder the hunter. I mean, is there a reason for me to talk to you? I'm going to talk to you about the voiceless dead. That way we can save both their timers. Maybe the cheapest exploit I've used in the game. What do you think of voiceless deads? Are you a fan? Treasure lying before us. All right, so I think what we're going to do is read this book that we're studying and go through the contents of the treasure. And I'm going to use that as a good end of the episode, because now next episode we won't have the evidence on the board. We're going to have all these expeditions in front of us. We got a whole slew of summoned helpers. We're going to be in a pretty good spot, I hope. Here we go. Okay. Behind a rotting tapestry of wolves hunting men, a paneled wall. In the paneled wall, a secret door. The spring is long gone, of course. We had to smash it in with hammers. That's pretty rad. Okay. So dreaming like that just got me more dread, which is not what I wanted. We're gonna do an opium dream to get that set. When the work verb is available again next, we'll do... Oh wait, I already have vitality. I don't need to do that. This is the first of the practices that the Imago and Matthias used to begin their ascent to power. They have risen beyond our sight, but their flames may yet burn in the Mallory. A shaping chant. All right, so nothing fresh and new from those books, but it gave me plenty of firepower for the old upgrades. You guys can chill because we can send you on the next expedition. I guess 4 on an expedition isn't super helpful though, because then 2 of them just have their timers burnt out while you're waiting. A poor lunatic. Some overwhelming experience has robbed this individual of their senses. They will disappear soon, never to be seen again. Oh, I wonder if... If it breaks free, it may try to drive you or your followers to insanity. I wonder if that's what happened. I didn't actually read the card as this guy was going. So I wonder if one of these two, I wonder if they didn't summon right. And that's what happened. The timer was him going insane. I wonder if I could have cured that like we do with the wounds. Oh, that's a bummer. But we have a prisoner? Which one needed that? Upgrade our heart using a prisoner. Upgrade our edge using a prisoner. I don't know. I think heart is the best choice. Oh no, this one scares me because we have to use reason and it might permanently damage my reason. So we can get an edge up to level 10. I don't see a reason not to do that. Grail would do it too. And this Grail would bring it in line with some of our other higher ones. Yeah, let's do it with the Grail. I know it's a lower level lore, but it still seems useful. Are you on a timer now? You are on a timer. It's only a minute. This might not even work because we'd have to draw them first. The last treasures of the Comte de Reveline lie here in a surprisingly airy room. High skylight windows have long since broken, and the floor is lost underneath leaves and debris. But once the place was furnished as a nursery. Here is a cradle with the skeleton of a puppy. Yo, shit out here on the continent, not as chill as it is back at home. Plenty of goodies for our trouble. So let me get these books down into the book nook. Cinnabar amulet. Scarlet is the color of heat. Mercury holds one key to an ultimate dissolution. So this is finally a forge tool. We hadn't had anything for that. And then this is the winter pigment. And we got some books, which we'll dive into all those next time. Having finished that expedition, I feel like this is probably a pretty good spot to stop for now. Next episode is basically going to be full tilt, get through all of the apparently very unsettling expeditions here on the continent. So we will dive into that next time. If you stuck around and watched the whole episode, thank you so very much for joining me on this adventure in Cultist Simulator. If you haven't already, do all those good YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff. That way you'll know when new videos go live. And if you've got a comment for me, I'd love to read it. Half the fun of me doing this is I get to interact with other people who are enjoying games. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the video. If you like what's going on over here, do realize that most of what I do is actually over on Twitch. So if you check out the About section down below, you'll find a bunch of social links. You'll find my Twitch, you'll find my Guilded server with my blog and all that, and a link to the backlog itself to see what games are still yet to be conquered. I will be back with more of this very soon. I'm probably just going to record another episode right now, if I'm honest, because having churned up all these expeditions in the continent, I definitely want to get at them. So I will see you again very soon. Until then, be good to each other, but be ruthless with your backlogs. Bye, everybody. Thank you.